What is up, guys? So today I have a video. I am black in this video. I'm playing as a 2027, I believe. I'm 2023, as you can see in this clip, but I haven't dropped since then. But it was a nice little win I got. I played, or you can see my accuracy, 86.5% accuracy, and I had played like a 2200. So it was a pretty good game by me, honestly. Let's get into it. They play e4. One second. They play e4. I play e5. Petrov defense, and then move knight to c3. A different variation than if you're familiar. There are a lot of different ways to continue with the Petrov d4. They can take the pawn and go bishop c4. And I actually know all those lines now, so I feel like I'm definitely improving as a player. I play d6, bishop c4, bishop e7, and his pawn goes to d3. I usually expect d4 in this position just because d4 forces e capture d4, knight x d4, and then I can go knight c6 or knight b to d7. But after knight b to d7, it could go knight to f5. Well, I guess actually I can show it. So I usually expect here, takes, and then I can go here, or then I can go there. It depends. And I was pointing out, or I guess in this position I'd have to castle first. But say I'm castle and they just want something like that, then we go there. I've played this position over the board and online. I really like it. But let's get back to the game. So I go bishop e7, they go d3, and I move h6 just to stop bishop to here. And after that, they go a3. I don't quite understand why they went a3, but that's what they went. And then I castle. After castle, they move the bishop back, and I go bishop to e6. I think you can see that I actually didn't move too slow. I should have went straight bishop there. Now, I actually did consider it for those short 3 seconds, just because it does make sense when you think about it. The idea here is that you go here and you have the h3, so no knight can attack this pawn. Then I control both of these squares, so there is no knight jump to d5. But I decide to castle first and do the move too late, although I do know that's the idea in this position. Then move their bishop to e3, and here I move my knight to g4. Now, the reason I went here, it is a blitz game. I don't quite know. Well, I know what I was thinking, just attack the bishop. But in terms of a plan, it wasn't a super solid one. It was just, let's see what happens. They move back. Then I go c5. Knight comes in and my knight back. Knight goes to c3. Now, I recently talked to someone who is quite better at me in chess. And he said something that can boost me to the next level is understanding the bishop pair. And here you see I do not give much praise to it, which is something I will work on. They drop their knight back, and I move my knight to c6. Then they go bishop to e3. Now here, I did not know it was a mistake, honestly. I had no idea. As you can see, I have a miss. I didn't even really see how that was wrong. Let's actually go into why that was a mistake or just a bad position. Yeah, I did not see that at all as I went a6. The reason I went a6, simple. I didn't want the knight come into b5. I think another thing for me to take the next step, I need to have some more solid plans, I would say. Because, like, it's not a bad move. Like, it's a miss, but, like, I'm still minus 0.33. So, not like I lost because of this. Well, I win. But it's not like I messed up because of this move. But it's just, I need to have more than just, here's this one move thing that I can do. And then go h3, which is another miss. I push, they take. I have a huge trade in the center. I have 2 pawns on the 5th rank, and they are not castled yet. They castle, and I go here to e4, which releases any advantage. But I will say, the fact that my mistake is still equal, I feel pretty good about my position at this point. They take the pawn, I take the pawn, and rook goes to e1. And I drop my queen back. No need for any discovered attack. And queen goes over to c1, and my rook's to open file. Now, I did not understand queen to c1, even though it does get the good mark from the computer. But when I was playing the game, I thought about it for a second because I was assuming there must have been some type of tactic on this h6 pawn here. I love that you can see the mouse. I used to do it on my phone, but I didn't see anything, so it just gave me the file for free, which I didn't. Maybe they saw that I was going to go there and get out the way from an attack. Because if the queen's still there, and move my rook here, then I'm attacking. But I don't know. It still gives me the open file. They go c3, and I go to this other file instead of the board. Although it is open, like it's cluttered. They move their queen over for a queen trade. I move my queen back. I didn't really feel like a queen trade was the best move in this position, but I do think a queen trade eventually. I protect this pawn going b6, which is not a good move. I should have moved my knight to the center. I assumed to attack this weak d3 square. Not what I did. Move their knight towards e4, queen here, avoiding it and getting ready for a queen trade. I do queen trade, and now I go bishop to f6. I just think these pawns are kind of weak. Well, I know they don't look weak now, but As you see by my time, this just felt like the right thing. Get on this diagonal, be the first one to unload the rook on this file, and then maybe wow, get my knight in there eventually. They go to this file. I move my knight here to e5, looking at this square, move their bishop here, and I drop my knight back. I should have taken. I wasn't thinking about taking at all, honestly, just because I didn't want to give them this open file for free. So they're going to get a file, but actually they don't. I was thinking here that if they get a file, I'll get another one. So say they take the rook here on e8, I'll take this back. They can come in on d7, and I can check. I can attack this bishop. I just really like this move, and you know, attacking the bishop and all. So the bishop goes back, seeing that attack, and then I go, king to f8, and then when they king go over to f1. I go b5. Now, I didn't know if this was a good or a bad move. As you see, I didn't know what to do. I had 1 minute and 43 seconds at this point. I was really confused on what was the best way to continue. So I go here just thinking maybe I can lock their pawns on the dark squares. I have a dark square bishop. But I kind of realized then and now this is probably not the best move. I just didn't know what to do, and I had to make a move. They move their bishop here, attacking the pawn, and I go c4 again. I don't think it's a great move, just because I know that their bishop can now get in on this diagonal. It's really open, but neither of us have a light square bishop, and it might be at some point I could see this pawn falling, because this pawn can no longer advance forward. They move their bishop here to attack my rook, and I trade immediately. I trade just because I don't want to move my rook and give them a complete open file. Oh, they still get it. It's on a bit of a different term. And I move my knight to the center of the board. I should have went here. The logic is the same. Well, it's clearly not exactly the same, because the other one's minus 0.4 and this one's a losing position. Somehow it's that different. I was thinking to guard this square and to potentially go there, but I don't know why that's an inaccuracy. Well, it is, but I couldn't see it. I move my knight here, attacking the rook and the pawn. And here I feel very confident, although I am down almost 2 minutes on the clock. About to win a pawn, I feel pretty good. Rook goes there to protect it, and I move my rook up to attack the bishop. Bishop back. Now king over. Knight forward. King over again. Knight drops back, and I take the knight immediately. Now, the reason I take the knight, I know that bishops, the knights can be better, or bishops are usually thought as a little bit better than knights. But the reason I do this trade is just because there is, I wouldn't say this is a closed position, but this is on the closed side, I feel like. And then the knight attacking this rook, I wanted to keep my rook on this file, and I wanted to keep this e file open, so I trade. Now here I mess up, so hold on. They go b3, take, and then pawn here. Now, I do not see this cool tactic, so I see the pawn push, but I could have just went straight for the rook. And I believe it's because if they trade, there's no way to get to my pawn in time. Let's actually show this. Rook here, take, and then knight attacking the pawn, take that pawn, and now there's nothing to do. I have these two passed pawns. I did not see this idea at all, but this is really cool. But I go b3, just thinking of a passed pawn, protected by the knight, and then I am thinking of rook to e1 eventually, king's out the way, and then I just go f5, lower on time, but I'm thinking f5 just to create more imbalances and keep them something else to think about besides this pawn that's trying to advance on the queen side. Move their king forward, and now I go pawn to g5. Again, I do see these moves here. I don't have time to calculate, however, so I'm just trying to do something I know advancing on the side of the board, stopping the king from forward progress. Bishop drops back, I go for a check, and I attack the bishop and protect the pawn this way. The bishop comes up, king up, rook goes away from the pawn, and I immediately snag this pawn on a3, attacking my knight, and then I queen, take, and this is pretty much over. I do believe we play it out for a little bit longer, though. I just push this pawn. They trade everything. Now, you do play on sometimes. Hopefully, you can get a stalemate, but I'm not going to stalemate this. Checkmate. So, yeah, that's that game there. It was a nice win, like at 2,200. I'm really proud of myself. But, yeah, thank you guys for watching this video, and have a great day. Excuse me. I'm new to turning it off on the computer. Have a great day.